Hello everybody, thank you guys for coming out to Bighorn Canyon today. Today we're going to be talking about the simple bear necessities of the bighorn. So I hope you guys can learn a little bit about the black bears that we see around our Bighorn Canyon. So first off, can anybody tell me if they have ever seen a bear? Oh wow, a lot of you guys have. Do you guys know what kind it was? Was it a grizzly or a black bear? Awesome. Well, the two main species of bears in the United States are the grizzly bear and the black bear. And they have several different features that help distinguish them apart from each other. Mainly, the grizzlies are usually a lot bigger than the black bears. They're usually taller, about 6 to 8 feet tall, and are a lot heavier. They can range up to 700 pounds in the end. And black bears are smaller and shorter when they're standing up, about 4 to 5 feet tall, and weigh a lot less, only about 150 to 500 pounds. Another great factor that can help distinguish the two of the bears are the black bear has a smaller face than the grizzly bear, and its snout is more pronounced, whereas the grizzly bear has a sunken in face and closer beady eyes that are close together. And grizzlies tend to be more aggressive in nature as opposed to the black bear, but that common times that people start to think that then only grizzly bears are the ones that are going to hurt them and black bears are okay to approach. But in any instance, if you see a bear, you should never approach the bear and try to stay away from it. And by being informed and aware, we can enjoy these bears from safe distances and view them in their natural habitats, like here at Bighorn Canyon. So bears are just like us. They have personalities just like us, and sometimes when we're curious and we see a bear out in the wild and we get excited about seeing them, we sometimes at the same time feel a little scared and nervous about having a bear in the area. Well, just like that, bears know we're in the area and they're curious as to who we are and what we're doing in the area, but they're also intimidated of us and get scared of us as well. Have you ever been out at night and you just knew there was something out in the dark, but you couldn't tell what it was? You just knew it was something, you just didn't know what animal it was? Well, earlier this summer, my friends and I were out on the trail at nighttime, and we had driven up on this trail, and we got out to explore for a little bit, and all of a sudden we heard this rustling in the bushes, and then out popped these two yellow eyes that were glowing in the dark. So we hurried back and got into the car just in time for a huge raccoon to pop out. Whew, we made that one. That was great. And then all of a sudden we looked to the right, and sure enough, there was the mama bear and her two cubs. So luckily we had made it back into our car just in time. So thankful we were safe on that one. Did you guys know that black bears are omnivores? That means they are opportunists. So they eat whatever they can find, which are usually berries, insects, weeds, foliage, nuts. Sometimes if they find a dead animal or a dead fish laying around, they take that opportunity to feed on that type of animal as well. But they don't usually go about trying to go out and seek out prey to kill. Here at Bighorn Canyon, we have chokecherry berries. But last year, we had a dry season, and so there weren't as many chokecherries around. So one time I got to observe a bear standing on the edge of the riverbanks, and it was like the fish knew that the bear was ready and was waiting for it. And so all of a sudden the fish popped up, and the bear swatted at him and knocked him over on shore and was able to capture the trout and take it back to its cub. And that was really a neat experience to watch the bear and taking opportunity of what it could eat off of. Black bears are very intelligent creatures. They have an intelligent level comparable to apes, which is a very high level of intelligence. They like to play with each other. They communicate using their body language and their sense of smell, and they like to play. And they enjoy climbing trees and swimming. And that's just some of the typical black behavior that you can observe while you're here at Bighorn Canyon. black bears' sense of smell is incredible. They can smell things from over 2 miles away. And inside their nose, they have 100 times the smell area as humans do, which is incredible. And so if you ever see a bear standing up on its hind legs, you might think it's getting ready to come attack you or whatever, but actually that's just a sign that they're curious and they want to learn more about their surrounding. And so standing up allows them to see further and take in more scents and smells. One of the best old First Nations proverbs is, when a pine needle falls in the forest, the eagle sees it, the deer hears it, and the bear smells it. So that just goes to say that bears have been known for their sense of smell for a very long time. So we were talking earlier about how bears like to climb trees. And so we're going to go move on into a couple of facts about bears that people think are not true. Bears actually love climbing trees. Even that's one of their biggest defense mechanisms actually in life. Sometimes if they think that there's a danger in the area, they'll throw their cubs up the tree, and then the mama bear will stay around the base of the tree until the danger or whatever she feels threatened by has passed. So that is actually a myth, that bears don't and can't climb trees. Another myth is that black bears only come out during the nighttime. This is quite false, as most bears' activity is done during the day, and they're highly active all throughout the day and even into the night and in the morning. Another myth is that black bears are harmless. Like we were talking about earlier, people think that only grizzly bears are harmless. Well, if they feel threatened and they don't like you, they're going to want to investigate what's going on and protect themselves, so it's just a safe bet to always stay away from bears. And finally, one of the biggest myths is that bears cannot swim. Bears love swimming, as you will see in this video. It is one of their favorite pastimes, like especially in the summer when it's really hot. They like to go and take a dip in the pool or dip in the pond, and they love getting in the water. So sometimes people think that by putting water in between them and a bear, that's a safe distance, just if you can see them across. But really, you should just never try to be in the same vicinity of a bear just because you think it can't swim. Because as you will see, they are very graceful and good at swimming. See, he just kind of floats across the pond. Okay. So now we've talked about how the bears look, what they like to do, some of their main characteristics. But let's now talk about some of the possible signs of when a bear has happened to be in the area or is still currently in the area. What are some signs that you might see that would indicate to you that a bear has been in the area?
Bear poop.
Bear poop. That is one of the best signs that a bear has been in the area. Scat is a good indication that there has been a bear not too long ago. And some other indications might be diggings, or if you see trees that have their bark ripped off, that would be a sign the bear was there. Berries and dead animals or fish, or sometimes you might find fur caught in the bushes or trees that would show that a bear has been there. And also, obviously, paw prints. If you see a paw print, you can pretty much guarantee there's been a bear there. So, while you're going out on a hike, or even if you're just exploring bear country, it's really important to follow some certain rules to keep yourself protected as well as keep the bears protected, and have precautions while you're out. One of the main things you need to do when you're out in bear country is to buddy up and stay with your group. It's never a good idea to go out on your own because no one else will know if something has happened to you, and it's just really not safe. So always stay with your buddy. Another good idea is to stick to the trail and not wander off from the trail. Bears, as well as deer, as well as any other wildlife, are very well aware of when a trail and a path has been made, and they tend to try to stay away from the path. And so, as long as you stick to it, you're most likely not going to have to encounter a bear on the trail. Another good idea is to make noise while you're out on a hike. Talk to your neighbor, or talk to your buddy, or sing a song, or clap your hands, just to alert any possible bears or other animals that might be in the area that you're coming. And then they'll probably want to stay away from you just as much as you want to stay away from them. It's also a good idea not to go exploring at nighttime, especially if you're not aware of the area and you're new to the area, because that way you can, if you're hiking during the day, you can see what's in front of you and you can see the signs that there might be potential danger in the area, as opposed to night you might not really be able to see certain signs or see a possible bear right in front of you. So those are just some really good tips that if you're going to be out and about that you should make sure you follow to keep yourself safe. But if you do happen to encounter a bear while you're out and hiking, which it happens sometimes, and it's a great time and experience for people as long as you try to maintain safety. But if you do encounter a bear at a really close range, you should not do like the lady is doing and taking a picture 20 feet away from the bear, because you never know when the bear might all of a sudden change its docile attitude and become aggressive towards you. So if you're on the trail and you see a bear, the first thing you should do is try not to excite the bear or startle the bear, because then it's going to be scared itself, just like you're scared, and it's going to want to come investigate what you're doing. So you slowly back up while you're waving your arms at the bear and letting it know that you're in the area. One of the biggest things you need to remember is never run away from the bear, because then it piques its curiosity and it's going to want to come after you, and I promise the bear is probably faster than you are. So if the bear starts walking away, then you need to walk away in the opposite direction from the bear slowly and back up. Don't turn around, so you want to always keep your eyes on the bear. If the bear starts acting like he's interested in you and he starts coming towards you, and you can tell he's not going to leave, the best thing to do would be to get down in the fetal position and then put your hands behind your neck and cradle your neck just like this in a tight position. Even if the bear starts pawing at you or nudging you or nipping at you, just stay in that position as long as you can, because that will protect your neck from any possible clawings, and you will be a lot better off for being in that position. Once the bear acts like he's done messing with you, just stay in that position and wait until the bear has been gone from the area for about 10 minutes to 15 minutes, and then slowly get up and walk away from the area and go alert a ranger or somebody and tell them that there's been a bear on the trail, because they need to know those kind of things. One of the best things to have with you while you are on the trail is bear spray. Bear spray is kind of like pepper spray, but it's for animals. And it doesn't hurt them, it just kind of stuns them for a minute, creating this cloud to disorient the bear, to give you a little bit of time to get away from the bear safely. It's kind of like if you put a piece of pepper in your eye, so it really doesn't harm the bear. It's been proven the most effective tool to use when you're out and encountering a bear. So there are some important things to remember that will help you prevent bears from approaching your campsite or boat while you're out in bear country. Number one is you always need to keep food sealed in containers. After you're done eating, store it, and then at nighttime, keep it 100 yards away from where you're going to be sleeping, so that if the bear does smell it, at least it's not going to be coming up to your tent and trying to get inside and cuddle with you at night. Some places even have poles set up with rope that you can string your backpack up at night and keep it up in the air, so then the bears will stay away even better. Another good idea is to not purposely leave food out to attract the bears. I know it would be great to see a bear come up to your campsite. You could get some really great pictures and stuff, but honestly, that's going to teach them a bad habit. They're going to continue coming back to that campsite even after you're gone, and they're going to bother the other campers that are trying to enjoy their time. And it's really against the law. It's not, you can't do it legally, and so it's just a danger for everybody. So bears are creatures of habit, and they definitely will remember to come back. The same thing goes for your trash. When you're done with an area after a picnic or after you've spent the night camping, make sure you clean all of your waste and garbage up and store it in the bear-proof boxes that we have located around. That helps the bears from being able to smell it and able to get into the trash. Unfortunately, sometimes people don't remember to do this, and I've experienced this firsthand. It was really sad this past summer. A local town, they had their people leave their trash out in bags, and the bears caught on to it, and they came up and they were really disruptive in the neighborhood and a potential danger to children that might have been running around in the yards. So we had to have people come in and remove the bears, which was just sad because they were taken out of their natural habitat because we as humans interacted with them and taught them to come to the area because we let them smell our food. So it's just really important to just keep your food sealed safely and get rid of your garbage the properly way. So, we need to remember that bears are fascinating and powerful creatures. They are really fun to observe and watch in their natural habitat, and it's neat to know that their behavior is a lot like our behavior in life. But it's always important to remember to stay safe, and by protecting the bears, you are protecting yourself as well. Thank you. Do you have any questions? Can you push stop, please? I'm like sweating.